choir is not supposed to be there. As much as I want a chorus of angels behind me. That would throw me off a little bit for this one. Okay. Dear God, the universe and everything.
I always say that I have offstage fright. I know that maybe I might seem a little uncomfortable or quirky on stage, but that is nothing compared to what I am like in my day-to-day.
So I hope that you can hear me when I sing.
I grew up with a family with mental illness. This was something that I thought was normal. I was encouraged to be creative, and the fact that I talked to trees and had imaginary friends was not a problem at all for my parents. So I spent a lot of my childhood in an imaginary world. And I always wanted to be a poet, always wanted to be a writer, much to the chagrin of my parents, because that is not a very good career choice. But it was undeniable. It was something that I had to do.
Oh, bring me spring. Bring me spring. Or bring me something I can use to mend my broken little wing.
When I was first creating music, I did not share the kind of really difficult stuff that I was going through at all. And eventually it just took over my whole life, and there was, because it was my experience, it was the lens through which I saw the world. People reached out and said, I had no idea what was going on with you. And I realized that through these songs, I could make them understand, to imagine what it's like to have some sort of mania, some sort of force pushing you that you're not in control of, to not be in control of your brain.
When I get better, you'll be mine, and we'll go dancing all the time.
The fact that there are people who do not believe in bipolar disorder, as if it's some sort of religion, speaks to the difference between a visible illness and an invisible illness. The self-stigma is one of the most difficult things to overcome. The idea that when you're feeling depressed, you should be able to snap out of it. That leads to more anxiety and more depression, because you're anxious about being anxious, or you're depressed about being depressed, and that becomes a prison that people live in. Broken is the word that keeps coming back. I have the belief, and many people have the belief, that bipolar disorder is kind of like a superpower or a gift. But the problem is, a lot of people who believe this think that treatment for bipolar disorder then takes your gift away. I felt like it was my purpose in life, and if I lost that, I would have nothing. I would be nothing. And so when I finally decided to get treatment, I said to the doctor, I don't care if I ever write another song again. I just want to feel okay. And it took me 3 years to write another song after I started taking my medication.
And I've got so...
The whole idea of first being ashamed of my mental illness, then accepting it, then sharing it, and now educating others, it does feel like a sort of coming out experience. One of my biggest things is to remember that recovery is not a straight line, and I'm kind of on this ride, and it takes me where it takes me.
We can't seem to find our way home.
And now I perform in high schools with the BC Schizophrenia Society. People come up to me and say, hey, I didn't realize that, you know, these experiences that I've been having were psychosis, or that it wasn't normal to feel suicidal. I can't tell you how many people I've come across who show me their scars, and I can tell them really quickly, well, you should turn this pain into art. Okay, bye, see you later. I maybe see you never. And hope that one thing that I said gets through to them. But if there was an artist in their school working with them, I see the difference between a teacher and then an artist it creates this accessibility that does not happen with teachers or counselors. I see, okay, there's a big job for us to do then is to create resources that are accessible, because at that point sometimes I hit a wall. Sometimes I'm in the middle of nowhere in BC and I think, well, I don't know what you should do next. The nearest hospital is 6 hours away and your parents won't drive you there. It is hard to leave a student who tells you that they have no support at all, and often I have to say goodbye, and there's nothing I can do, and that's one of the hardest things about my job, is just letting it go and saying, you know, I wish you the best. Very early on, I realized that I could not do this by myself.
He says he lives for words will be the death.
And so it was the moment when I decided, okay, I will accept help, that things started to stick, because I had this idea that I had to be everything. And that's not realistic for someone without a disability. So it's certainly not realistic for someone with a disability. I live with my partner, Greg McLeod. He plays, I think, 7 instruments. They're all around here somewhere. The amount of stuff that he has given to me and has done for me is overwhelming. It's overwhelming to me. And I just wish that, you know, other people I know who are experiencing mental illness could have this support. If he's the rock who is helping me be stable, then maybe I am kind of the wind that's pushing his boundaries and pushing him out into new situations that he never thought he would be in, or maybe allowing him to share things he never thought that he would share with anyone. All is this kind of web that's created me. And I don't think I would be the same. I don't even know if I'd be an artist if you took any of those things away. So this kind of it's kind of the perfect storm of a struggle and pain and creativity and openness that has allowed me to be a mental health advocate and a singer.
I got the sweetest comment from a girl who was a exchange student from Japan, and she wrote, "I'm not broken. Like, thank you for telling me that I'm not broken." And that was like, oh, it made everything worthwhile. It made all of this crazy mess that I've gone through worthwhile, just to hear that. Like, of course you're not broken. Nobody's broken. We're all just human beings. They soothe me, baselines move me, empty words are wonderfully. Come on and do a sing. Don't want to hear my heartbeats.
And I feel like it's now my responsibility to share and open up on stage and connect with people, just in case there's someone in the audience who needs that. And often there is. There is something that comes along with a disability, and that's a new perspective on life, a different perspective on life, and that's something that you don't find in everybody. You are on your own path. You do not have to follow anyone else's journey. And the idea of success, you have to redefine that. So it's a success to share your art. It's a success to make art. If you have a disability, things are going to be harder for you. That's life. That's the truth. And so you take that and you accept it, and then feel proud of everything that you've done. Something that one of my psychiatrists told me is never plan more than 6 months ahead. And my therapist also agrees. She says, you don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to take the first step.
I love the pleasure of your company. comfort me. And I know that after all I put you through, the pleasure of my absence is the least that I could give to you. I got swept away in your oceans. You told stinging truths, and whoa, they left me swollen. And I know you never meant to injure me, so I reached for your hands, but your fingers were too slippery. So can we take it from the top before I take the blame? What wasn't what you thought it was? Oh, what a shame I put my trust in you.